Hey, what's up everybody? Alan Tyler here on April 7th. This is day 2 of my YouTube video challenge. One thing I noticed from yesterday, and I already said it today, was that I used a lot in yesterday's video, so that's something that I'm going to be working on utilizing less of, just that filler language. But for today, since I kind of had a weird schedule, I wanted to talk about routines, in particular my relatively consistent morning routine. There was another today we had a big windstorm, so I ended up losing power at my house and a lot of other businesses in the area. So things were a little different, but my general, well, that's why I wanted to talk about it, is go, okay, today's off from what it normally is, but in general I kind of stick to this regular pattern. So typically I get up at 7 o'clock. I've got an alarm that goes off at 6:50 that just plays music, and it kind of crescendos up over 20 or 30 seconds or so. That kind of helps, what I found is it helps kind of bring me more gently out of a deep sleep. And then 10 minutes after that music starts playing, I have an actual buzzer on an alarm clock totally across the room that I have to get out of bed to be able to turn off. And I really hate hearing that buzzer. But I learned that that kind of alarm system ended up working really well for me, because the music comes in and kind of wakes me up slowly, and then I know from that point that I've got 10 minutes to kind of roll around and lay there a little bit longer. And usually 5 or 6 minutes in, I'm like awake, kind of more ready to go, and I kind of try to look out the window a little bit to get a little more natural light coming into my eyes to help wake me up that way. And then at 8 or 9 minutes, I make an effort to make sure that I actually roll out of bed and go over and turn the other alarm off before it ever goes off. Because it's the buzzer it has never worked for me, and when I used to have those by my bed, I could hit snooze for literally hours, which wasn't really productive, or, you know, made sure that I got to class and work and things like that. So music alarm, 10 minutes later buzzer alarm. That's usually when I get up, and I go to the bathroom, kind of brush my teeth, kind of wake myself up a little bit, put my contacts in. And if I know that I'm going to be working out within a couple of hours, I usually won't take a shower. But if I don't know quite when I'm going to get my workout in, or it's a rest day or something like that, I'll take a shower. But either way, once I get out of the bathroom, either after a shower or not, I go back to my room and do a 15-minute meditation, guided meditation through the Headspace app. I've been working with that for probably not quite a year. I took a break in sort of October, November. I just kind of got out of the habit of doing it, but then decided I wanted to get back into it, and I've been really consistent. I think I'm at 90 straight days, something like that, basically this whole year so far. So 15-minute meditation through that. Big fan of Headspace. It's helped me a lot. I'm learning a lot about myself and my own mind. Then I'll come downstairs, get some coffee, take a vitamin in the morning, and write in my journal. I've been keeping a daily journal for almost 4 years now. I started in 2013 before I went to Utah. And I used to write in it at night, but I found that I was frequently not writing in it, or, you know, if I'd gone out with friends and I'd had some beers or whatever, I wasn't necessarily writing. I was just kind of like, here's a few things that happened today, and then I didn't really care as much about it. So I started building it, or at the beginning of this year, I built it into my morning habit, or my morning routine, and that's helped me stay a lot more consistent with it. And it's a chance to kind of reflect on what I got done yesterday, and then think about what I'm going to get done, or what I'm kind of hopeful for and anxious for today. But it's a chance to reflect on what I was grateful for the day before, which is really cool. So that takes 15-20 minutes. Then I'll usually, if I know I'm going to work out soon, I'll usually have a little bit of breakfast, and then usually something small like toast, whatever, more coffee, some kombucha maybe, and then typically move on and do 20 minutes of studying with Duolingo, the language learning app, free language learning app. I usually do it on my computer, not on my phone. There's a little more functionality, and having a full keyboard is a lot easier on the computer. Because I'm going to Italy in May, so I've been using Duolingo for 6-7 months total now. I'm pretty far through the lesson plans that they have built in, but there's still a lot to go, and I know some about Italian. It'll be interesting to kind of practice it when I'm over there. But that's been a lot of fun, and a good way to kind of wake my brain up for the day, start thinking and processing and trying to connect sentences and all of that. After that, I typically do at least a 30-minute drum pad practice session. So I've been learning to play the drums. I've been taking lessons for over a year now. And my target is it's 90 minutes a day of total practice. but I try to make sure I've always got at least 30, even on days where it doesn't seem like I can squeeze it in. Like 30, I can usually make that happen. So I try to get at least that 30-minute pad practice, which is just, the pad is just like a single one pad, one drum. It's quieter. It's a great home practice pad. It's a great way to get warmed up and work on rudiments and things like that. And I usually throw on a movie or Netflix or something while I'm doing that, because there's plenty of it where it's just, I'm just working for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes at a time on one pattern or one drill, just kind of building muscle memory and strength. And for some of those, I kind of like to zone out to a movie or whatever, watch some comedy stuff. And then after that, if it's a workout day, that's usually about the time that I have scheduled in that I'll be taking off to go do a workout or some kind of fitness, like a tennis class, or I'll go biking, go running, training for a triathlon in a week from tomorrow. So my fitness schedule will be a little different the next week, but that's kind of early morning. It's usually 9 or 10, sometime between 9 and 10. And then after that, I'll try to go out. That's sort of when my work day or my productivity usually starts. So that late morning, 10, 11, after a shower. Maybe get a few things done and then have some lunch and then work for the afternoon. But that's sort of my standard morning routine. Altogether, it's 2+ hours from the time I wake up to the time I'm done with all of that. Sometimes I have to shift things around a little bit, or if I want to sleep in a little bit longer, I'll move things around. So it's not a totally rigid schedule. I definitely don't have the exact same schedule every single day. But I found that for me, I'm much more consistent with it when I do it the same way every day. And I get up at the same time, and I take a shower, and then I meditate, and then I have coffee, and then I write my journal, and then I do Italian, and then I do my drumming. And all of a sudden, it's 9 o'clock, but I've gotten all of those things done. All these big kind of daily tasks. And then from there, that'll kind of allows me to clear up my mind and free up my mind to be able to focus on things the rest of the day and figure out, okay, now I'm going to go run these errands, I'm going to do this other stuff, I'm going to record a video, look at doing things like that, doing some marketing. And I had just found that through experimenting with doing the meditation or the drums later in the day, the drum practice later in the day, I wasn't always getting them done. Things would get in the way, or I'd start making excuses to myself about why I didn't need to do it today, or if I just didn't feel like it or didn't want it. So for me, it's a lot easier to just get up and do it and be done with it. So that's kind of the track I'm taking with recording this video today. It is afternoon, but I was like, well, maybe I can think about doing something later and see when the inspiration strikes. But I think that's going to be something that I'm going to learn continuously through this project. It's not always going to feel like the perfect time to do it, or have the perfect topic, or it's not always going to go totally flawlessly. So this was just like, all right, let's talk about my morning routine. And that's what it currently is. I'm sure it will change. I'm always kind of experimenting, trying new things and adding new things. But so far, that's been a pretty consistent outline or base morning routine for me so far in 2017, which has been great. 2017 has been a really good year so far. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, and this is day 2 in the books. Thanks.